Mine's only a sleeper because he's going QB 18 right now. CJ Stroud. In 2 years ago, he was QB 11. And last year, his offensive line, he was a shell of himself. Like, I remember watching him, like, what happened? It was almost like he was in Space Jam and they took all his powers. He looked so terrible. He didn't trust his offensive line. He was just like throwing and ducking. Terrible. He lost. Nico Collins was out for a third of the games.
He
Joe
lost
Mixon was
several
out for a bunch of
games.
games. Tank Dell was knocked out that season. I assume dealing with Stephon Diggs isn't the picnic.
Yeah.
And now I think they drafted two solid-ish receivers, and yeah, and they have a really easy schedule. I also think, spoiler alert, Collins is going to be on my league winners later. I think he's incredible. So CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like he peaked so well his rookie year that people think that that's his norm, and I almost feel like he's going to regress for a couple of years as he regressed last year, and so I almost feel like maybe me on different points. So you go ahead and bid him up. I might push him up a couple of dollars just to see how much you really want him. But
But then what do you think about Dak? Because I had the same thought. Well, Daniels regress. Right now he's going QB3.
all right, so hear me out. I'm in Arizona. I remember watching Jalen Daniels as an Arizona State quarterback, putting money on him and him not being able to cover. And I was like, dude's not it. And then ever since he went to LSU and was fucking killing it. Then he went to the Commanders and killing it. But in my head, I'm like, this dude's not it. And every time I bet against him, he's like, it's almost like he takes it personal. He's like, oh, you bet against me? Watch this. It's like Cam Newton. Oh, yeah, you were watching film. Watch this. And I'm just like, yo, fuck Jalen Daniels because he's so good. So I learned my lesson. Don't bet against Brady. Don't bet against Jalen Daniels.
Jaden Daniels was my like kryptonite last year. I used him as a what do you call it? The bet where an anchor bet. So he was in a ton. Him and the Commanders were in a ton of my parlays for like futures, and then they just killed it and they ruined. I would have made out like a hit 80% of my bets if it wasn't for the Commanders and Jaden Daniels. So I
Yeah.
respect him now. But I wonder if he's going to regress because right now he's going QB3, which is insane. And I mean, CJ Stroud, I think, was going like QB5 last year. So I'll be interested to see if, teams will game plan a bit better for him and that sort of thing. And they'll have a harder schedule this year, of course. Last year they had an easier schedule. Um, yeah.